Hello guys, Dan here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's short video I will show you how to paint Libertos. I will mostly use contrast paints, and I will group this in two sections, so you can paint the first part of the model, and then if you don't have any more time you can just keep playing with it, and then any stage later you can come back and continue the model. So without the further ado, let's go to work. So sit back and relax. I primed the model with the Wratihbone Spray, and I try to get an even coat all around. I used this brighter version of the spray because all the contrast colors that we will use are bright, and I want them to be warmer on the model. First color I will use is Ultramarines blue. So I will use it straight from the pot, and I will paint all his skin with this color. Apply it in one thick coat, and just soak all the poolings that you have extra with a dry brush later, and just leave it to dry. So this will be the look at this stage. So if you just want to make sure that you do the same job as I did. So the next color I will use the Ork Flesh Contrast, and I will just paint his shirt with this color. As well I will apply one thick coat straight from the bottle, and try to be neat as much as possible, and try to not go over his skin. Since I made a few mistakes here and there, I will use a Wrathbone, and I will just use it as an eraser, and just paint all the mistakes I had, just to return the model to the Wrathbone color, so I can apply next contrast paint. I will use Iyandedn yellow contrast for this yellow symbol on his back. So just one thick coat, and just be careful not to go over the green parts or over this bottle or backpack, whatever it is on his back. And then I will use black templar contrast, and this will be for the gun and for his head part, and that bottle backpack, and as well his handgun. For his chest armor I use Aggaros Dunes contrast, but this armor is really invisible on this model, so you can paint it with any color that you have available. And then after that I use the Basilicanum Grey contrast for this mine that he's standing on. So this is one very thick coat. I couldn't find the proper green military color for his pants, so I used the normal color. It is Deathworld Forest, and then I applied it in the two very thin coats over the pants, and I painted with this color all his fins as well. And then I shaded it with a dark tone. So if you use dark tone, add one drop of the dark tone and one drop of the quick shade wash medium, so it flows better. If you don't have this wash, you can use a Nuln oil. So just try to be as neat as possible and wash only the Deathworld Forest green parts. And the last contrast paint we will use will be Gore-Grunta Fur, and this will be only for the leather parts of the model, so the holster and all those leather belts that you have around the the legs and the waist and on his hands. So at this moment, if you're happy how your model looks and you don't want to go into the highlight section, you can stop here and use this model for the games. It looks amazing, but we are going to bring it to the next level now with some good highlights. So I will start first with his skin. I will use a Templar Guard blue, so I will just put this color on my wet palette and add a few drops of water so it flows better from my brush. So I will use it to highlight all the knuckles and the muscles, and I will also freehand draw the stripes on the skin. So just use your tip and just draw a few stripes on the tail and on the hands. And also I will draw all the symbols that he have on his shoulders. I just copied the art from the box that he came with. After first layer of highlights, it should look like this. If you wanna pause here and copy the same scheme I did, feel free. And on our next stage, we'll go back to the Dead World Forest. But this time I will only highlight the most raised areas of his pants and the folds. I will leave the recesses with a dark color from the shade. And then I will take a Flesh Gitz Yellow and I will mix it 50-50 with the Dead World Forest, and I will do another highlight on the pants, but this time I will cover less area and I will just do the folds with this color and the edges of his pants, and as well I will highlight all his fins with this color. For the final highlight, we will use pure Flesh Gitz Yellow, and this will be done just really small lines and small dots on the fins and on a couple of folds on the pants only. So this is just a really small highlight, but it will pop the mini. And as well highlight all the lines on his face with this color. Okay, to highlight all the black parts, we will use Administratum Grey. So I will use the side of my brush and just highlight the gun. So every single line or sharp edge on the gun that he have, and as well the canister on his back. Okay, for the sign on his back, we will use Yriel Yellow. So you will just go and reinforce the previous job that we did with the contrast paint, but leave all the recesses intact, so you can still see the previous contrast paint inside and darker shade. And as well, I will use this color for all the linings on his shirt and the pants that he have. Just take your smallest brush and be careful and draw the yellow lines. And then we will go back to our Flesh Gitz Yellow again, and then just do the highlight on the sign and the small highlights on all the linings on his clothes. For the green shirt I will use a Moot Green. So this is a really small highlight, so just on the folds and on the couple of edges on the bottom and on the top of the shirt. For all the leather parts we will use the Cadian Fleshtone, and this will be applied as an edge highlight, so only on the sharpest edges. Now it's time to paint the eyes, so we will use any white color. I use the white Scarlet at this moment, and then I will just fill out the eye sockets with the white color. So try to be as neat as possible and just paint them white. Then I will put a few drops of the Nuln oil or a dark tone, whatever wash you have inside. Just don't put too much, just a little wash so it goes into the recesses of the eye sockets. And at the end I draw a few horizontal lines in his eye sockets, just to look like pupils, but I didn't want them to look like a human eyes, so I made horizontal lines. And last thing was to put the rust on the mine that he's standing, so just dry brush some Ryza Rust on the top of the mine. And that's it. This model is completed, and now it's time to transfer him to his base that I pre-painted before. So guys, I have to say that I really enjoyed painting this model. It's a really beautiful model and it's so colorful. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as well, and if you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot to me, and if you have any wishes that you like to see me painting in the future, please leave a comment below and I will try to do my best. So for now, stay safe and take care. Bye bye.